Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for a weekly angel reading for June 26th through July 2nd, 2017. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to tune in to our angels' guidance and information for us for this week as we tune in through our hearts and just really be present with all the love and fulfillment, purpose, and hopes, dreams, and alignment that is available to you right now. And they're showing me the third eye, and they're showing me, I tell you, my symbol for vulnerability is when I see a naked behind, and this naked behind is within the third eye and is kneeling. And so it's giving me a sense that they wrote the word false just now, and what they're kind of indicating to me is that you are. The first thing it shows me, since it's inside the third eye, is that this is going to be a really sensitive week, a week of great sensitivity. And this is not to say that this is going to be negative necessarily, but what it means is that your intuition is going to really be sort of coming through your emotions. So the thing is, don't let your emotions, don't take it personally. Is the feeling I'm getting about it, just be on alert that your emotional sensitivity is going to be a sign of your heightened intuitive awareness. And so because if you're not, they keep writing that word false, like you're going to get a false read if you're judging it, if you're treating it like oh, what's going on, what's wrong, that kind of thing, I'm not feeling well. You'll read it as something's wrong with you, when it's just that getting you're channeling a lot more information. They reminded me, I've been noticing in this past week, my sleep has felt, wow, like I've been just working really hard. And I've been feeling like having this ringing in my head, not like it's sound, but like keys, like a whole bunch of keys. It's just a crystalline kind of frequency that it feels like, and that there's a lot of information. So this may be something that you are experiencing. I just saw this angel number 206, and it says your prayers and faith are supporting you and your material needs completely. Turn any worries into prayers and be open to receiving answers to those prayers. Okay? Your prayers and faith are supporting you and your material needs. Turn any worries into prayers and be open to receiving the answers to those prayers. So there's a sense that that you may tend to be worry. The sense I'm getting is because they keep writing out false, and there's something about getting a false read this week. So first of all, I can just say this in general: put your fears aside. Whatever inner criticism that, and they write in people that you may get from other people, I'm getting a sense that you may pick up on. I don't know if people are going to just criticize you directly, but they may just be complaining and criticizing things in general, and then coloring the way you see your own situation, because you're just sitting there taking it all in. So it's this kind of sense, like, be aware that you're going to be like a sponge this week, and you're going to be emotionally vulnerable because you're going through an intuitive shift. And so it's like it's almost like this download, this expansion of your intuition is like going through surgery, and after surgery you're a little sore and your wounds are tender, and um, you need time to recover. And so, like any pain that you normally would have after having a surgery is you like normal pain, you probably wouldn't even notice it. It'd be like this slight little annoyance, or you somehow your brain overrides it. But after your body has been compromised, you notice the slightest pain. It gets exaggerated for you, or more intense. So it's that kind of thing this week where people may be talking and saying all kinds of things. They write out the word saying. People may be saying all kinds of things that will cause you to go into this huge panic, and they're writing that word big. So, and they don't want you to do that. And so that's why they're recommending that, to pray. Okay? And the idea of prayer is sort of what I'm getting from them is when we pray, it may not feel like it's going to solve your problems, but what it's reminding you of, it's reminding you to have a conversation with your inner well-being rather than listening to the outer complaints that is not focused on well-being. It's at least reminding you that when you pray, that you pray because you recognize that there is a source of well-being in the universe. And if you can even remember that much, then you're helping yourself to hear those answers that the universe does have. You're reminding yourself to kind of get off of that conversation, to let your sort of anxieties that you've picked up and absorbed, you're reminding yourself that you can let that go. Because if you are going to pray, then you believe that there is a source of well-being in the midst. It's like the eye of the storm. You recognize that there is peace in the center of every situation that we can all choose to access, and that you don't have to choose to be on the sort of the parameters of the situation. You want to really kind of stay centered, okay, and trust your own inner wisdom. And so this is going to help you to sort of fast track through some things and sort of get the bigger picture here, and help you to focus. Now they're showing me that for you this week, they're showing me a tree, so, and the trunk, and it's kind of thin. So, again, they want you to stay as connected as you can and think about those things that allows you to feel that alignment, that connection. So when you all of a sudden are just feeling like you're having like a bad week, or that the people that you're around, all of a sudden you may start to, when I'm getting, because they're writing the word people, it's like you may start to notice that some of the people that you've been talking to, or some of the conversations that you've been having, that they aren't healthy for you. And it may be intense this week, but that's gonna be a good thing for you to recognize, so that you can shift some of that around for yourself. And don't forget, you have the power to choose the conversations. People may start conversations, but you can shift it to something else. You don't have to try to stop them from talking about what they're talking about, but you can talk about something that uplifts you and that's uplifting for everyone, and help everyone to get off of that sort of roller coaster of complaining, right, and just making their own wounds even more difficult to bear. So there's this sense that you need to be aware of your emotional sensitivity this week, and how you can use that sensitivity to uplift others, and uplift yourself. So don't forget, to pray pray to the angels, to God. When I pray, I pray to, I ask them to uplift my heart, my mind, and my body. And you can also ask them to uplift your experience. So, I prayed very general prayers. I pray for clarity, and that's my general prayer for everything. It just seems to work, and it usually just comes right in. And if I need that extra boost, as we were guided last week from the Archangel Raphael, to pray to uplift your heart, to pray to uplift your mind, to pray to uplift your body. Pray for, offer prayers that, I just say, please uplift this experience for me, angels. God and the angels, please uplift this experience for me. Or please uplift my body. And sometimes all of them are combinations. And I just sit and I can feel the shift happening within. And it seems like it's really important for you in this week to remember to pray for this. And then once you're clear and uplifted, notice how you start to feel and think differently. Notice they're writing out the word lack, meaning you won't be noticing so much what's lacking and more about what's potentially there, or what possibilities or what opportunities are there, or new approaches, new ideas, new ways of perceiving something. So this week is going to be really important for you in order to maintain your connection, is to pray for clarity, understanding, and to uplift your heart and your mind when you're in these places where you're you find yourself really focused a great deal on what's lacking. So just use that when you see that you're focused on lack. That's an indication that you're not focusing on alignment, that you're not focused through the well-being of your soul. And your soul's well-being is infinite. Infinite. All right, and they're showing me the third eye again, which is just giving me this sense that that you're going to get these inspired ideas, okay, and that you may also have these sort of soul connections where you feel this connection with someone, or somehow you feel a resonance with them, and what they're saying to you resonates with you, and helps shift you out of that proportion of lack that you are sort of experiencing. And they're writing out the word disrupt, as if there could be some people come through who help you disrupt that whole pattern in your life. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card for the theme of the week. Let's see what else is. Okay, beloved one. It's interesting. This card says, this is Archangel Chamuel, and his name means he who sees God. And some people, he can be sort of similar to Saint Anthony, where he can help you find things. And this card says, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. And just interesting, we're just talking about soulmates. And I feel that this really confirms this very strongly. This could mean that, someone, a romantic soulmate, but this could also mean people, soulmates, people who are meant to be in your life, people who you share a connection with, a passion, professionally. Like you have that romantic connection. You could have a professional connection, or a friendship connection that's really dear and special. And both of you recognize, it's like you recognize each other. And so this is very helpful, because the people who come, sometimes there are people who come into our paths that we meet somewhere at this moment, and we to have this one encounter, and they sort of save our, they're like our, they rescue us in a moment. You've had this experience, and I'll never forget it, years ago, and I don't know why I'm thinking of this, and I don't even know if this is the correct example, but you gotta wonder. I was years ago when my mother's second time of having reported having cancer, and I was on my way home, and I was on the train, and of course I was worried. And this, I want to say, a homeless man, or he he was just a wanderer, and he was just talking a lot of gibberish. Like basically everybody thought was not in his right mind, and maybe from our perspective he wasn't. But do you know he was standing behind me, and all of a sudden, because I was worried about my mom, and you know, kind of in prayer, but worried, and all of a sudden he said, without knowing me, and I never looked at him. I mean, well, I wasn't staring at him at the time. I may have looked at him, just like everybody else did at some point and looked away. And he said, "Yeah, everybody thinks I'm crazy, but he says, I know about your mama, and I know about her cancer, and I know that she's going to be all right." And I didn't say anything to him. I just froze, and I knew that that he was like a soulmate in that moment, that God sent him through to make that connection for me, to provide that answer. And so I get this sense that this kind of healing, as I'm seeing the name Archangel Raphael right now, will occur for you in this week. Be aware of those what we sometimes call coincidences, which we know they're not, when people cross your path, and that those souls were meant to connect at that moment. And a soul mate, like a soul helper, like your soul partner, soul helper in this case, because that man was a soul helper, and he came through and provided me with the solitude, that I needed to be able to focus and travel, and to reach my mom and to be supportive to her at that time. I had the confidence because I got that message, and the way it was given, there was no way I could doubt it. So just be aware of this in this weekend. You may be in that position. So really allow your intuition. Don't be afraid of your sensitivity and the information that you receive, especially if you feel like you're supposed to help someone. Is it right now? Suppose? If you feel like you're supposed to help someone, don't doubt it. You may be that soulmate, soul helper to them in that moment. And so you're being guided to be a soul helper. And don't be afraid of sharing what you receive. You'll feel the resonance, the connection between you. Your heart will bubble over with love. And you can never do harm when you do things through love. This is what's so important for us to recognize. We can do no wrong when we use this resource. When you're channeling it, everything is as it needs to be. What you're witnessing is that co-creative process, the flawlessness of it, and how you have been how you've been summoned to participate. You're seeing yourself, watching, feeling yourself, being the participant of this divine flow. So this is what I feel like this card is about, this soulmate relationship. In this week, you are helping people find, or people are kind of helping you find the things that you're looking for, helping you to find the answers. And the answers are inside of the love that flows through each and every one of us, because we are extensions of God, source, energy, consciousness. And so that love, and it comes easily to us. And all you have to do is be willing to be that, participate in whatever way that you are being guided, or be receptive to it when it comes to you. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at the cards for the beginning of the week and see where this is taking us. Wow, wasn't expecting that um, as a message for this card, but it's always surprising. I'm literally learning, hearing all this stuff for the first time as well, the things that we say here. And this is because of the collective consciousness of all of your higher selves that are part of this reading. All right, and so we take a look now at the card for the beginning of the week. And this card is the Judgment card. And the first thing that comes to me is that idea of being summoned. You know, in the traditional card, an awakening, right? An intuitive awakening, but also the call. And so this card says, review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments of yourself and others. What I'm feeling about this card is that this purpose that summons you will help you to let go of those things. It will release you from the judgments, because the power that's calling you, the power of love that will call you in that moment, will sort of trump your fears. In a sense, you'll release those guards, because in order to hold the call, to contain the call in your heart, it leaves no room for the other, you see. And so I feel like this is going to be like a strong, where you're going to, that sense of renewal, you'll have this sense of renewal, because the power of this purpose calling you in this way, as we talked about, will release those inhibitions, release those things that have kept you from focusing or being of service previously. All right? So let me just tune in and see if there's any additional information about this card. But what I'm kind of seeing is you being really something that's going to occur for you, that's going to really call you into yourself in a very present, make you very present, right? You get what I'm trying to say? It's like something's going to really call you into yourself and make you very present. And they're right in that you may laugh because you had these other plans, or you know, and you realize, wow, I was working in this way, but this is what happens. And you know, you get that, like, you plan, but as they say, we make plans, God laughs. But you're going to kind of see why that is, you know, as you're summoned. When this thing summons you, you're going to get a sense of who you are, and it'll pull you into the, you'll be so present, fully present, that hopefully this becomes something that you desire more than all of the other things that you worry over, the material aspects. Because see, if you are present with the love that flows through you, that love, that divine love that is present, that is omnipresent everywhere in the universe, to be there, you attract all of the details, because that's what's orchestrating everything for you. The well-being is your point of attraction. And sometimes when you worry, you're worried because you're focused on the things that aren't the source of well-being. There's nothing wrong with having those things, but they're just not your source of well-being. And when you focus upon them as if they're your lifeline, you can't get any satisfaction or any kind of happiness out of it, because it is not, doesn't have a soul to offer that to you. You see? So you always have to go within your soul, aligning with what creates success and happiness for the soul, what feeds the soul. You know, I was just talking about this with some clients this week, and in some of the writings this week, is that idea, like when we get hungry and versus having a craving, and then there's something inside of us that is, the stomach gets satisfied, but we don't pay attention. We have these thoughts that we're running all the time, and they make us crave, and they make us also not pay attention to what's going on inside. And so in this way, Similarly, you when you're not present, you don't know, you are not aware of when the soul is satisfied, or when the experience. See, the soul takes from, like it ingests from, like food, right? The nutrients, food, your body absorbs the nutrients, but your soul absorbs the the nutrients of your experience, and when it's filled, that is what it deems as success and um, and happiness, etc. And we aren't content, because the thought process of our ego is, oh, just craving things, because it doesn't, it's not listening, you're not listening to your soul, and then you end up going beyond what you need, and then becoming burdened and stressed by it, like if you've overspent or something like this. So there's something that's going to awaken within you, where you recognize that that what's going on inside your soul, what your soul, what compels you from your soul, is your true satisfaction, the success, the that you're seeking. Okay, I'm not sure if I said that quite as well as they would like me, but we'll go on and see how this continues. So, all right, and again, we've had the Prince of Autumn, I believe, which is the Knight of Pentacles, for the second time in the last 3 weeks, I believe. And this card says, this Knight, okay, this card says cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness to others. So this card is about, well, all Knights are about serving a mission or being a purpose. And this Knight, out of all the Knights, is, let's say, the most thoughtful. Like, likes to get in, to get his hands dirty, really, and plans and prepares, but is also very committed and very dedicated, and is patient through the process. And so this is a sort of a reminder to you, in one way, to be patient with the process, to keep working diligently through the process that's going on in your life right now, in your life experience. So one of the things I'm feeling is like, remain calm, be consistent, to keep following through or following up on something. They're writing the word follow up. They're giving me a sense that they wrote the word findings. You're gonna, like, as if you're gonna come across some particular findings, and that they want you to kind of like follow up on those things, okay? And there's something about people, and they're writing size and help. Don't let people exhaust you, okay? Stick to what you're doing. Don't let other people, if they're not happy with their life, don't let that distract you from being happy about what you're doing. Again, it's that kind of talk that sometimes they're not doing it directly to harm you, but they're just doing it, and then you start to think the same way, and it disrupts your own happiness and your own focus. So, you can't expect others to, I feel like if you're looking for some kind of comfort from other people, they may not be able to give it to you because of what they're going through. And it may distract you. So you've got to be dedicated and sort of focused for yourself, and for what what you're trying to do, what makes you happy. All right, so it's kind of really important so far, just not to get distracted by how others are perceiving their lives. All right, and the cards are getting a little. Let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. Okay, so we have here the Three of Spring, and this would be the Three of Wands. So there's a sense of something that you're sort of waiting for, something or something that's been sort of. This card is always tricky because usually traditionally you see three ships out there, and they look like they're coming in, but they haven't reached you yet. So there are some things that, and what this does is, because it hasn't reached you yet, it gives you, but you can see it where it's coming. So now it gives you a chance to really prepare. So I get this sense that at the end of the week, things will take a turn in such a way that now that they're getting closer to you, you have a better picture of what you need to do. And now it's really appropriate for you to feel more secure about making some plans, or developing some of your plans or your ideas that you had, because now you see it's coming in. Your ships are coming in. They haven't docked yet, but you got a better, a more secure idea of how things are going to play out or can play out, and that this card is usually very positive, so that you have a positive idea, and so you can be more optimistic and plan with that optimism in mind. Okay, so allow yourself to, by the end of the week, when you start to see things going in a certain direction, right? When you can see it, okay, even if though it's from a distance, then know that you have that. You got that kind of the go ahead to go ahead and invest yourself, so that you can really make some serious plans to develop that even further. Okay, I was just seeing some words here and trying to talk at the same time. They're talking about something else. Not quite sure if I remember what it was, but anyway, so this is what's sort of happening, the sense in this week. Now, how these soulmate interactions play into this, you will have to be open. And the thing to that is, you'll be open if you are keeping things in check for yourself. So the one thing is not to let too many people get in your way, not to listen to a lot of talk in your lunch rooms, or get on the phone with friends and shift those conversations. Don't take it personally. Don't take it in and make it about your situation. Stay really connected, and you will then see these sort of synchronistic kind of events occur. Okay, and so some events just may happen. So not only just people crossing your path, soul helpers, but there may be events or opportunities that kind of cross your path that are being directed towards you from God. Okay, so be aware of that. Now let's take a look at the card I already pulled from the bottom of the deck, and this is the Three of Summer, and this is the Three of Cups. And so this is a wonderful card to receive, because this card is about celebration. You've gotten some good news, and you traditionally see these three women, with the cups. And right now, it just makes me think of, you're out somewhere celebrating after you heard some good news, and you go and you go out for a few drinks or something like that, or you just get together and have a little party. So when you do that, you're celebrating something, and that's what this card is really about. That there's cause to celebrate. Now, that this is not at the end of the. It's like this is in the first. They break the suits up into the three Tetris somethings. I can't remember what they're called, but since it's at the first three, it means that you have cause to celebrate. In this sense of this reading, I'm getting that you based on our Three of Wands, that now you have the beginning. You have good reason to celebrate now. Something could actually come through for you to celebrate, but even though there may be like something that happens that was like a breakthrough, and now it gives you a reason to be hopeful and you feel like celebrating. So it's that kind of good news, right? It could be good news like I got this job. I did see words about salary and I saw payment. So it could be something happens with the salary, that a little bump or a little extra reward, or some revenues coming in from other places, or payment. Maybe you're finally able to pay something off, and it's been past due for quite a while, and you finally had a way of catching up, is the sense I'm getting about this and this card. So it's that kind of news to celebrate, that, news worth or celebrating it, if you will. Okay? All right, so they're saying enough. Great. And so I thank you all for joining us here this week, and for subscribing, for following, and for your comments here on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, or then please do so. If you like the videos, also do that. And if you haven't left comments before and you've wanted to just say hello, I will definitely read them. Okay, I always read all the comments. And if you haven't joined us on our Facebook page, where we have the daily card messages, so I pull a card for Monday through Friday of the week and do a little writing on it. Well, not a little, but we write and what we get from the angels, and it goes a little bit more in depth in terms of what we're talking about here. And so you can go to my Facebook page. You can find it in the description link below this video, and you can also find it on my website, the link as well. If you haven't been to my website, it's theangelschool.com, and where you can also sign up for an angel reading on the services page. So that description link is also in below this video. So I send you all lots of love and blessings, and take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself this week, and be open. Don't clam up because you're a little extra sensitive this week. That means that you're just a little bit more aware intuitively, and that there are channels opening up for you, and of communication. And so the sensitivity is increasing so that you can be accurately guided, and they're giving you a little extra room, a little extra boost in that communication so you can hear. So don't clam up and shut down. Don't take it personally, right? Take it spiritually, meaning that they're opening something up for you and helping you to feel more supported and loved. So pray. God bless you all, and have a beautiful week.